It's very cold. I'm pretty low on energy. Just trying to stay warm all night.
Hi friends, my name is Mike and welcome back to Nowhere Bound. And in this video I want to talk about the orange thing that you see behind me on the fender of my Teardrop camper. That is the Vevor all-in-one diesel heater. And you might be asking yourself the question, well, doesn't the camper already have a heater in it from the factory? And the answer is yes, it does. But it requires electricity in the form of shore power or a generator. Now, ironically, this camper is called the NuCamp Tag Boondock Edition. And why they chose that name, I have no idea. Boondock camping is another way of saying off-grid or dispersed camping. And how are you supposed to boondock camp if you need power for your furnace? But now finally, after 2 years, and thanks to the Vevor all-in-one diesel heater, I will never have to camp in the cold again. And this heater is actually meant for many applications. It can be used in workshops, garages, cabins, rooftop tents, or virtually any space that needs off-grid heating. The versatility and the portability of this heater are features that I really like, and I will definitely use this in other setups and other rigs. Which is one of the reasons why I decided not to do a permanent installation in this camper. I didn't want to do any major modifications or drill holes or mess up the camper in any way. So instead, I came up with a DIY solution and built an insert for the window. It's basically a giant adapter for the heating vent, and it requires no modifications to the camper whatsoever. It completely insulates the window opening from the outside world without any thermal bridging or condensation, and I'm actually really pleased with how it turned out. I'll show you step by step how I made it, and I used simple, inexpensive materials with simple tools, and it's something you can do yourself in an afternoon. But we'll get more into that in a moment. For now, I want to talk about some of the features of this diesel heater. It is a cold and windy morning. The fuel tank, the pump, combustion chamber, and control system are all integrated into the box. It sips diesel fuel and DC power with amazing efficiency, and depending on how hot you run it, you can have a long night of heat with less than a gallon of diesel. The assembly is a breeze. All you need to do is connect the exhaust pipe, the fresh air intake, the hot air output, and the 12-volt power source. Then you just fill it with diesel and you're good to go. But something to keep in mind regarding the DC power is that when the unit is turned on, it will draw up to 15 amps for around 3 minutes. Once the fuel is ignited and begins to burn, the electric power draw dramatically reduces. And if you're running the heat on low, we're talking maybe 20 to 30 watts, or about 1.5 amps, which is just a trickle actually. But the point is, you need to make sure you have 15 amps at startup. My first inclination was to use my Jackery and plug the heater into the 12-volt socket, but that won't work because the Jackery's 12-volt power is limited to 10 amps. And unfortunately, most power stations have a similar limitation. Now, one way around this with your power station is to use an AC to DC converter and come out of your power station's AC plug. However, in doing this, you'll lose about 6 watts of energy in the conversion process. So I would recommend a direct connection to your house battery. Now, fortunately for us tag owners, we already have a cigarette lighter fused at 15 amps built right into the bulkhead. I tested the heater with that outlet for about 5 hours and I had 0 issues. The heater has a few options when it comes to the controls. You have a digital controller on the front, and they also include a wireless remote, and there's Bluetooth connectivity with an app. Now personally, I found the app to be a little bit clunky. When I tried to change the settings with the app, the heater randomly and unexpectedly shut off. So I resorted to using the remote and the front panel controls, and it was completely reliable. I didn't have any problems that way. The diesel heater has two operating modes, auto mode and manual mode. Auto mode is intended for using the heater in the same space that is being heated, and it will automatically maintain the ambient temperature. Manual mode allows you to manually set the desired heat output on a scale of 1 to 10, and you can make your own adjustments as needed. With this setup, I'm obviously using the manual mode. Now I'd like to show you how I adapted the diesel heater to work with the window of the camper. Pause the video here to grab this list of what you'll need. You'll have to excuse my woodworking skills. I have limited tools and limited experience, so this is the best I came up with, just improvising. I measured the window from the outer edges of the gasket, and it came in at 23 inches wide and 15 inches tall. I had this 3/4 inch piece of OSB laying around, so I just measured it and cut a rectangle. You might want to use a circular saw instead of a jigsaw, but again, the jigsaw is what I had available to me at the time. Next, we're going to make a mark 3.5 inches and 4.5 inches respectively from the top long edge of the board. This is where the struts are going to poke through the board, and this is also how the board is going to mount to the outside of the window. I made the notch 1.5 inches deep on one side and 2.5 inches deep on the other side. This allows some wiggle room so that you can maneuver the board over both struts. Now we're going to do a test fit just to see how things are progressing. And just by coincidence, the heater fits perfectly on the fender right under the board. Perfect. Now I'm going to add a coat of black spray paint, just to add some protection to the outside and make it look a little better. After I let the paint dry overnight, I came back and did another test fit. Only this time I'm going to trace a line around the inside edge of the gasket. The line serves as a guide for our weather stripping. And we're going to stick this on just on the outside of the line. The weather stripping will ensure good contact with the existing rubber gasket. This will also give us our air gap between the Reflecti's insulation and the board. The air gap is important because it will maximize our R value, and it will also help prevent condensation due to thermal bridging. Now we're going to trace the hole for our air vent. This vent is included with the heater. We're going to use a 3-inch hole saw and drill our hole. Now, again, I'm not an expert and I'm using OSB. Plywood probably would have been the better option, but this is what I had on hand. So I'm going to have to touch up this paint, and that's okay because I was going to add another coat anyway. Notice that the weather stripping is doubled up. That's because my weather stripping was only an 1/8 inch thick and 1/4 inch is better. So if you're buying materials, I would buy 1/4 inch. 1/8 inch is all I had. The next step is the aluminum foil bubble insulation, also known as Reflecti. And I'm going to cut out a piece to fit perfectly over the board. Same dimensions. I had this liquid nails laying around, so that's what I used on the weather stripping. I was hoping this would glue the Reflecti into place, but it didn't stick very well. But it stuck well enough to help it, and then I used duct tape to finish the job. And the duct tape would have been necessary anyway. Always good to have some wet wipes around, and this tub of towels is my go-to. It's never very far away. Okay, we're going to turn this over and let it dry for a while. And when it dries, we'll wrap around the edge with some duct tape. Next, we'll put a slice in the Reflecti in those notches at the top. And I'm using a piece of duct tape to help prevent it from tearing further. Again, that's where our struts are going to slide through the board. Time for another test fit, and we'll see how good our seal is around the edge. Here we are inside the camper. I'll go ahead and kill this light. And looking at the window, this has contact with the entire rubber gasket on the outside of the window. So that's great. But I do have a solution to take care of this daylight here where the struts are. To plug up these notches with those struts, I just took a piece of Reflecti and cut a narrow strip on one side and a wider strip on the other. And we'll just get the narrow side around the inside edge of the strut and pull it down. And we're simply going to just wrap it around and stuff it in there. It's not elegant, but it works. Now we're going to put in the vent. And mounting the vent receiver on top of the Reflecti will help get a good insulation around the edges of the vent, and it'll also help hold everything in place. I'm just using a small drill bit to make some guide holes, and then I'll hand tighten the screws. Nice. There we go. This rotating vent is actually a very nice feature. And now to test out the finished product. If you have any questions about this build, or if you have any suggestions as to how it can be done better, feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're interested in purchasing the Vevor Diesel Heater for yourself, viewers of the channel get a special price, and I have that link for you below in the video description. I want to thank Vevor for providing us with this heater. We're going to put it to great use this winter. It is so warm and toasty in that camper now. It's awesome. And I'm really looking forward to the cold temperatures this winter, and I can't wait to test this baby in the field. I hope you stick around. There's lots of winter camping content in the works, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And until next time, I will see you nowhere soon, and it'll be nowhere cold. Take care, everybody, and be kind to each other. Peace out. I will see you next time.